Woo! What's going on, guys? Orum'S Den coming at you guys today on a Sunday night, 8 p.m. What's everybody doing? Got the new Jack Campbell jersey out. Uh-oh. Looking good. Jack Campbell looked good on Friday night, boys. I got to catch some of the game on Friday night. I was at work. And I got to catch some of the game. A friend of mine he has a phone and he has DAZN, D-A-Z-N, whatever it's called, and he ended up putting the game in between our stations on the phone, and we were doing our jobs and back and forth coming. And I was watching most of the game. I missed some of it, but then when I came home that night, Friday night, I went to the gym Friday night after midnight, came home, caught most of the game again on Friday night. So got to pretty much catch most of what I missed. Haven't done a video on the game yet. I was going to do it Saturday, but we ended up going to my dad's yesterday. He has a little cottage in Leamington. And we spent the whole day there, night there, barbecued, beers, ate good with my wife and my daughter and my pops and his girlfriend. And I haven't been able to do a video, and I got home today and I got home at 1 o'clock. I want to say 1 o'clock. I showered right away because I smelled like swamp ass from the lake. Because I jumped in the lake because my daughter had a pontoon boat, and her and her friend were on it, and I was stinky. Your boy was stinky, man. So he ended up showering. Then I went right to the gym again. Came home, kind of putzed around. So I haven't been able to do any videos the last couple of days because I've been busy. The family man that I am, you know what I mean? My family's first, guys. You guys know that. But I will get out my Lions content when I can. Because I want to do an actual video on that preseason game because I did get to watch most of it. Saying how I watched it Friday night at work and then caught most of it on Friday after the gym at work. It was on NFL Network. So, but yeah, man, if you guys, got 13 in the building, let's say hi to some people. My boy Heinrich's in the business. He's in the house. Woo! All fired up. James Willis. Going on, brother. Justin May, the rapper, obsessed Detroit Lions fan, up in here from Rochester Hills. Michigan, go Lions. Yeah. A little bit of LA Knight for you there. But just watch it. I've been watching that guy. That guy's a trip, man, by the way, LA Knight, man. I know it's a little bit of a ripoff. It's a ripoff, kind of like the Stone Cold, The Rock. You got the Macho Man in you, the Flair. He's got a little bit of a little sprinkle of like 4 different superstar the Attitude Era, and I think it's hilarious. I actually think it's hilarious. I've been watching that guy a little bit lately, LA Knight, man. Just watched that promo with him and The Miz. So, yeah. Donkey Kong, Super Bowl. Look at the pupperoo, man. Look at the pupperoo. What's going on, man? Lions win 21-16 against the Giants. First preseason game. Yes, they do, brother. Yes, they do. I thought it was a good game. All the reserves, pretty much. We didn't get to see too many guys that were going to be getting lots of playing time, except the rookies, We saw Gibbs in there. We saw Jack Campbell. We saw Brian Branch laying out Cole Beasley. I thought we looked pretty decent. Some guys stepped up. Some guys didn't look so hot. But that's okay, man. That's what preseason is all about. What's going on, Ubadal Barragan? What's going on? What's good, brother? I watched the whole game. Fantastic. I caught most of it. Like I said, I caught most of it at work, and then I got to catch most of it again when I came home from the gym on Friday night, early Saturday morning. Super Bowl time. I can't say that quite yet, but I think the window's starting to open. I hopefully, you know what, man? Let's make the damn playoffs, bro. Let's make the playoffs. I think 20 people in the building are going to agree with me on that one. Make the playoffs, man. I like the hype. I love the hype, actually. But let's make and I'm not scared of the hype. I'll be all nervous, but let's just make the playoffs, man, before we start talking Super Bowl. Let's win a playoff game or two before we start talking Super Bowl. Is that fair? I love it. I love the hype, but come on. What's up? Matt Hicks in the building. What's up, man? What's going on? Hey, Matt, how's it going? The Lions beat my Giants. They did, but I always bleed Honolulu blue and silver, number one. That's my number one team, and the Giants. The Giants reserve didn't look too bad. They did a couple guys out there that, that were turning some heads, but this is a Lions show. And we talk mostly about the Detroit Lions. Oh, yeah, posting up. What's going on, brother? Jorge Cantu in the building. Big dog in the house. What's up, bro? 1-0 and away to a perfect season. Uh-oh, Donkey Kong. Be careful, bro. Be careful saying that. Remember last time we were 4-0 in the preseason? We went 0-16. Now, we don't like to bring that up sometimes, but, preseason, I don't care about victories, even though I put $50 on that game. I think 50 won me. I have to check my phone, but I think $50 won me. I think I cashed out at 90. I want to say 93, 87. So, 50 got me 40 something bucks, $40, let's just say. Got me like $40. Give or take a few dollars there. Won some money on that on our Detroit Lions. But yeah. Gary Kessinger in the building. What's going on, brother? Campbell, Branch, Gibbs, Coda, Martin all play good. I didn't really catch Martin. I know he had a tackle. I did see him with a pressure at one point. Jack Campbell looked the part, man. He's bigger than I thought he was, too, like muscle-wise. He looked jacked. He trained hard in the offseason because he wasn't that big at Iowa. He's always a big dude at 6'5", 250. But he just looked more muscled up, man. He looked the part, too, hey, guys. He just looked the part. And he was going against reserves. Let's not get carried away, too. Going against reserves, but he looked good out there, man. He had about 4 tackles. I think he had a tackle for loss at one point. It was a swarm of Detroit Lions. He might have even had a batted ball. He played good. Brian Branch had that huge hit on Cole Beasley. After that, I didn't really see him too much, but that closing speed was something. Gibbs, it looked like they were trying to – they gave him the ball like 4 or 5 times. It felt like it was like 4 or 5 times in a row. And they're trying to run him up the middle a lot. They did bounce outside. He did have that one run for a first down. He did have a catch for a first down for 18 yards. I think we're going to see him more in the passing game. I think they're going to try to get him to be like Swift. It's going to be a Swift show. You know what I mean? But hopefully he can stay more healthy than DeAndre. And I think he's can be more dynamic. He's definitely faster. And Swift ain't no slouch running the ball, but he's definitely quicker than DeAndre. And Chase Cota, surprised, man. He had a nice game. I think he had 4 catches for 60 yards. Looked apart, big catch radius. Not the fastest guy out there, man, but positioned himself well to catch the football. And I was pleasantly surprised to see Chase Cota get some looks there, man. And they were targeting him. So, he definitely turned some heads. Now, when you see stuff like that, guys, people get a little bit excited. They get fired up. Oh, my God, Chase Cota. He's better than Jamison Williams. He's better. Let's see him do it now against, let's see him get bumped up. Now you're going to see him get bumped up in practice. Now you're going to see him get bumped up in a preseason game if they believe that he can be the number 4, number 5 guy. Let's just say, and I'm not even calling that. He could be a practice squad guy. He could come out next week versus Jacksonville Jaguars and go 0 for 0 on 4 targets. You know what I mean? He could catch nothing, drop a ball, and then all of a sudden everybody's not on the Chase Cota train. So it's great that he did it, but let's hold it up a bit. 0-16. Woo! I was at the 16th loss in Green Bay. Oh my God, bro. Tough one. Our first quarterback at the beginning of the first preseason game was terrible. Yeah. Sudfeld was bad. His stat line could have been a little bit better. There was a couple drops in there. Jamison did drop a beautiful ball that was thrown by Sudfeld at one point. It was either a for sure touchdown or he was getting tackled at the 5-yard line. Laporta dropped the ball, even though the defender was all over his back. It still hit him in the hands. He's got to bring that in. And I think there was another drop, and then I think there was a fourth kind of iffy drop. It looked like Dylan Drummond was open in the corner of the end zone. It was on a fade. Dylan Drummond had his defender beat. Bad throw by Sudfeld. All he had to do was kind of drop it into the pylon. Even if it would have went out of bounds, it would have been a better throw. But he kind of underthrew it, and the defender looks like he kind of got his hand on it. I think they might have labeled that a drop for Dylan Drummond, but I think it was more of a bad throw and a better recovery by the DB. So, he didn't look good out there. He made a couple of decent throws, though. He did. Like I said, he would have had a better stat line. He really would have. At least he would have thrown a touchdown. But overall, it was terrible play by Nate Sudfeld. And this is why Teddy Bridgewater is in the building. And what they're going to do with Sudfeld is beyond me. I think they're going to try to get looks. That, we're going to see Teddy. I believe this week he's going to play. There's no reason for him not to play. He's got his nose in the book. He'll be practicing all week. So, and Adrian Martinez looked decent. Now, Adrian Martinez was doing this against the 3s and the 4s. So, we can't get too carried away there, but I like the way he uses his feet to get out of some trouble. His arm's not the greatest, but he did make some throws. He almost got picked off that one throw. Look, it was going to be a pick 6. It went right off the defender's hands, the Giants' hands. So that should have been an interception, but, it's a game of inches. So, but, they're going to have decisions to make with that QB 3 at least. Now it could be a Sudfeld versus Martinez battle, and whoever wins, I'm not too concerned about it, but we're to know who 1 and 2 is. But the quarterback for the second half was a lot better. Yeah, Martinez looked good, of course. There's so much depth on it. Yeah, the depth on this team's crazy, man. When you're seeing guys out there in week 1 like Romeo Wakwara still, you're seeing Julian out there late. You're seeing key guys. You're seeing key players from the past years that usually would be like playing a little bit and then on the field. They're right on the sideline just watching the rest. Those guys now are playing late in the games because their depth. Those guys are either gone or they're, you know what I mean? Or they're on the sideline. So thank God we signed Teddy. All I got to say. I totally agree. I totally agree with signing Teddy. I think it was a good idea. Sudfeld, I'm not gonna bag him completely. He was bad. His stat line should have been a little bit better on Friday. There were some drops. Let's not get let's Williams had a drop, Laporte had a drop. There was another drop there. It was questionable with the Dylan Drummond drop. So he had some drops. It would have been a better stat line, and it almost could have been two touchdowns. The Williams one, I think, was a borderline. He catches a touchdown. The guy was all over him. But the Dylan Drummond one, he had him wide open. He had him open. It was just a bad throw. People want to say that was a drop. I think it was more of a bad throw, better recovery by the DB. So, yeah, Martinez looked good, man. He looked better than I thought he would. He got out of trouble with his legs, threw the ball okay, so who knows? Mark, from your perspective, what did you see that made you worry about Jameson Williams not flashing potential ability that he should? Well, just dropping the football. That the only thing I'm worried about Jameson Williams now, it seems to be at this point, Public Enemy, and thanks for coming in, is him dropping the football. That's really all I'm worried about because he's out there. He's trying to get better. If you follow the beat writers like I do, guys, and you can follow them on X, aka Twitter. You can follow them on Facebook. Follow me. You can follow me, and that's where I get all my info from. Eric Schlitt, John Macaron, Jeremy Reisman, Jeff Risden, Tim Twentyman, Mike O'Hara, all those guys, man. John, I already said John. Those guys put out tons of info, man. Those guys put out tons of info, and I give it to you guys. And yeah, man, if you're following those guys or follow me, aka Orum's Forum, the Orum's Den. I'm going to give you that info, man. The thing I'm worried about with JMO is just the drops. He's working his ass off, guys. He is the first guy out on the field. He's doing things with Antoine Randall, the wide receiver coach. They're doing a drill, and I'm sure they're doing more drills than this, but they're doing a drill where JMO's keeping his hands like this. It's because it's to get those concentration drops out of there. He's firing a little mini football at him, making his hands smaller, making him concentrate on the ball. That's going to help him grabbing the football, just his hands. And he needs to do that, man. He had a beautiful, beautiful 2-point conversion catch. He did. It was a one-handed grab. He snagged it out of the air. It looked like it was the only thing he could do. It wasn't trying to showboat, but he brought it back in, and he was fired up after it. Then he had 1 or 2 catches after that. He did have that drop, which was a huge drop. He can't be making those drops, man. He's going to get crucified. He has so much ability. It's insane. So much ability, man. It's just like I can't even explain how much ability he has. When you see him run his routes, DBs cannot cover him. Now, I know he was doing it to number 2s, number 3s, number 4. I know he was out there burning those guys. but they can't cover him. You know, Sudfeld had a couple bad throws. They had that one pick that was thrown to him. The drop was all on JMO, but I think Goff hits him. I'm hoping Goff can hit him better than Nate Sudfeld can. But you see the separation that JMO has. It's there. Now you're worried about these drops. Now all of a sudden these drops are just coming out of nowhere. He's dropping balls, man. That's what he's doing. So that's the thing that I'm kind of worried about right there, but nothing really else, man. Not worried about him working hard. I'm not really worried about his speed, his route running. I'm not worried about his agility. I'm not worried about anything else except him dropping the football. That's the only thing I worry about with JMO now. And it's a big concern. I'm not going to drag him through the mud for it, though, but he's got to get better. He just has to. I got to give props to Adrian Martinez. He was nice, man. Adrian Martinez played a lot better than I thought. Gibbs did a good job on pass block. Love to see that. That's what I like to see, too, because he's not known for it, and he's not very good at it. So it's good that he got his nose in there. Finally, it'll be tough to pick 53. Actually, some players could get picked up. That never happens. Yeah. The Falcons just dropped a good linebacker, too. Miles Walker, they just dropped. Speaking of people getting cut and picked up, they just dropped a pretty decent linebacker named Miles Walker, and I don't think he'll get to us. I got a feeling that the Bears might pick him up. He's an outside linebacker. He had over 100-something tackles. He had a couple picks last year, a sack. You know, he's decent. He's nothing special, but they dropped him. For what? I don't know. Is he hurt? I'm not sure what's going on, but he was dropped. So he will get picked up if he's not hurt. Miles Walker, I believe his name is. Sudfeld can kick rocks, and he knows it. He's probably going to be gone. He's going to be gone. But Adrian Martinez needs to do this against stiffer competition now. I didn't read much on Levi Onwuzurike's performance. Yeah, he didn't do much. He had a tackle. I believe he had a tackle out there. He looked okay. There was nothing that really stood out for me, though. I met Jeff Risen, pretty cool guy. Austin, man. Risen's cool. Campbell and Rodriguez look great together. I posted a video on my page just saying, Campbell Rodriguez, hey, man, it's nice to see that Rodriguez is going to be great depth here, who could possibly get more snaps if something happens, because in reality, he's depth. That's what he is. He's depth, man. It should be Anzalone and Campbell should win the jobs. And then you got Barnes. Barnes isn't going away. And then Rodriguez is right there. So we got 4 pretty decent linebackers. None of them are superstars. None of them are great, but all have pretty good qualities. They all work hard. They all get the job done most of the time, but they do have some flaws, and we've seen it. We've seen flaws in these guys, except for guys like Jack Campbell. He's a rookie. But everybody else, you know, we've seen the up and downs. You know, even though Rodriguez is young, we've seen the up and downs, size being one of them. Jamon would be fine. Just he needs playing time, and, you know, he's not going to get it. So what they're going to do this week against the Jaguars, not sure how many snaps he's going to get, but, you know, I like to see him make another play, because he did make a play, man. He did make a big play on a 2-point conversion. That's huge, man. We see the playmaking ability. I'm not even worried about the playmaking ability on this kid. It's just that the concentration drops seem to be a problem, and it could be mental. He didn't really have this problem in college, from what I can remember. So we'll see. J-Mo, love the haircut, Orem. Thanks, Jacobo. All the time, bro. My hair's too messy. I got to get rid of it. It's comfortable for me. It's comfortable. Everything I've seen on Goff, he's got a ton of confidence right now. It's awesome. Hey, bro. Remember not that long ago, we were talking about Goff like we didn't want him here. You know, now I'm comfortable with it, man, and I'm okay being wrong about it. But I will not apologize, Jorge. We will not apologize. I know you won't either. I said it. Martinez is going to beat out Nate. I hope so. I hope he does, man. Sudfeld's brutal. You know what I mean? He should have had a better stat line, though, Sudfeld. He should have. But overall, his play was bad. He missed some open guys. He overthrew, underthrew. He made a couple bad reads. You know, Martinez looked good out there. He looked a little more poised. Now, he's doing it against, you know, worse competition. I thought he was doing it against pretty much the 3s and the 4s. Nate was doing it a lot against the 2s and the 3s, a couple 4s here and there. But hey, man, if maybe this is the QB3 battle now. Let's see what happens here, because You know, we all know QB1 is and QB2 is. It's not even it's not even it's it's not even a question. What's going on, Justin Chase? Looking huge, buddy. 9 drinks. Chrome Dome. LOL. That's it, man. That's it. Most comfortable haircut in the planet, bro. I love it. What guys excited you the most of watching the opener against the Giants? What guys excited me the most? Well, going into this game, I didn't have any really high expectations. I kind of wanted to see J-Mo do a few things because I'm worried about this fan base just destroying him. You know, I'm glad he had that bounce back, nice 2-point conversion catch. So I was excited for him there, and I think he needs to still work on those concentration drops. But I was excited for guys like Julian Okwara, 3 sacks. His brother Romeo had a sack. You know, I saw James Houston was in there making some plays. You know, I don't think he had a sack or anything, but he was involved in a tackle for loss. He was in there. Jack Campbell, you know, he had 4 tackles. I believe it was a pass deflect to TFL. He was in there making plays. Who else was in there? Chase Cota was nice to watch. You know, the first, you know, the second, third string offenses, man. You know, one thing I was kind of pleasantly surprised about too was the reserves of the Detroit Lions O-line. There was obviously some pressure. I think Martinez got sacked once. Sudfeld got hit a couple times. But all in all, they played pretty good. That Connor Galvin kid out of Baylor, he played pretty good at OT. Pierce Bacher ended up getting hurt. But like most of the guys ended up playing decent as a reserve. And that's it's the biggest concern of mine is reserve offensive line on this team. Because if a guy like Sewell or Decker, Jackson go down, I think this team's in a lot of trouble. You know, you got to throw a guy like Colby Sorsdal in there. You're going to have to grab a guy like a Bobby Hart or a Matt Nelson if one of the OTs go down. That worries me to death, man. You know, Awosika. But they played better than I thought they would. So that was pretty exciting to watch the reserves play better. And they're playing against reserves as well, too. But it's nice to see them kind of, you know, winning those battles. Most of them anyways. They did get beat a couple times, but I thought the O-line, the backup O-line, played pretty damn good. And Brian Branch, can't forget about Brian Branch. When Brian Branch made that closing speed tackle on Beasley, I was like, that's why we drafted this kid, man. Because he came out of nowhere. It looked like Beasley had real estate, and all of a sudden Brian Branch comes flying, made the tackle. I thought that was really special. Gary Kessinger, first string, probably play a series or 2 against Jacksonville. Yeah, I could see Goff playing a little bit more. Maybe, probably first and second quarter. You might see first, second quarter because they're not playing a snap in the third game. So you might see Goff. You're going to see the ones, I think, a little bit more. Might not see Ragnow out there, though. Decker, I'd be surprised. You know, the season vets, I don't know. You still got to be careful, man. You don't want to play these guys too much. You don't want to get Amon-Ra hurt. You don't want to get Gibbs and Montgomery hurt. You don't want to get Laporta and Brock Wright hurt, James Mitchell. So you just got to kind of find what you can do there. But we're definitely going to see Goff, I think, play a little bit more because third game, we're not seeing nobody play. So we won't see anybody again. It'll be like the first game. It'll be just like the first game, probably even worse. You're going to see backups to the backups versus a backup with a backup doing some backup work. That's what it's going to be, boys and girls. So that's okay. Do you know how much cap space we save if we do end up cutting, Nate? Not a clue, bro. I'd have to look that up. Let me look it up, man. Let me look up his contract because I don't think it's a lot. I think it's peanuts, bro. Nate Sudfeld contract. Let's see what it says. He signed a 1-year deal. Wait. No, he didn't. Let me see. So sorry, guys. Jeez, it's so irrelevant that. Okay, here it is. 2023. If he's released. Cap savings of 600,000. It looks like 600,000 on a release after June, and a dead cap of $0 in 2024, and a dead cap hit of $1 million in 2023. But the cap savings, $600K. Peanuts, right? But you save some money. You save a little bit of extra bones, so it's not bad. Hey, Wayne Shirk, what's going on, brother? Hello, Mark, my friend. F the Packers. I'm losing more and more hope that J-Mo will be great. Don't lose hope, man. Don't lose hope over what you've seen, man. The dynamic is there. You know, the drops can be a little bit worrisome, and I'm not going to knock anybody for having that feel, because that's legit. He shouldn't be dropping balls like he is, but the dynamic is there. I love watching Branch come up and body that running back. And yeah, the Aquara brothers excite me since they are now the bottom of that position for us. And they look like starters out there to love to see that depth. Yeah. You know, I think Julian's still on the bubble. Romeo could be too, because they played so much. When you start seeing those late guys out there, they really want to get a look out there. Those are the guys that they really want to get a look at or don't have a chance to make the team. And I still think guys like Julian and Romeo are guys that are on the bubble. I called it from the beginning that Julian could be a guy that gets cut. He comes out and has 3 sacks. He's doing it against 2s, 3s, and 4s. We need to see him do that against the number 1s and the number 2s. We need to be. Campbell called it, man. Dan Campbell said it. We want consistency from Julian. We see the ability. We see the plays he makes, and then he'll take 2 plays off, go back to his old ways, and then it's just, you know, it's a head scratcher. He needs consistency from him, man. And I think Julian, the only thing I worry about Julian is if they drop him, then he goes to a team like the Bears, or the Vikings or the Packers, and he becomes good. That's what kind of worries me about him. But I kind of think Julian is a little bit of a one-trick pony himself. He's a pass rusher. That's just what he is, man. And I think that's fine, but he needs to be more consistent at it. Brian Branch is who I looked at. He did great as I expected. He was exciting to watch, man. Jorge for sure, nobody's continuing to show himself to be. Backup OT is the biggest hole in the team. Exactly. Matt Nelson, Bobby Hart. I don't know what the hell, you know, those are Iwasika can play tackle. It makes me very, very nervous. Jameson is a luxury for the Lions. Hey, man, I think it's a good luxury to have. And I told my buddies this, and I'm going to say it here right now. And I heard this on 97-1 a Ticket, Mike Valente. And I don't agree with that guy much, but I agree with what he said here. He goes, if Jameson clicks here in Detroit, this offense is going to be unstoppable. It was already unstoppable last year. You know, they had a couple farts, they had a couple dog farts last year, and that's going to happen. They need to be better in that situation. You know, you can't be laying eggs against the Patriots, getting blown out, stuff like that. But if they have a guy like J-Mo that clicks on this team, they are going to be unstoppable. Unstoppable. Yeah. Oh, that hit was amazing, bro. The hit was amazing, the Moto City. Good to see you in the chat, brother. The closing speed, I thought he was slow. Remember? Everyone told us he was slow. We got 51 in the building, though, 28 minutes in. Don't forget to like, comment, share this out. Tell all your friends, your family, your girlfriends, your boyfriends. I don't care who you're with. Tell them to come to see Orum'S Den. What's going on, everybody? Oh, sorry, brother. Sorry, Orange Shawl. Love it. Hoping to see Sam Laporta get some receptions next game. He needs to come back a little bounce back game. You know, can't be dropping balls, even though that was a tough catch in his hands. Got to make that catch. James Mitchell looked good, too. He did, brother. I was surprised. Jake Lucino was picked up O-line USFL. I didn't know that. I saw they picked up another corner. That's played. They dropped that Tay Hayes. You know, he had one game, then they dropped him immediately after the game. Dropped, and he had a high PFF grade. So, you know what? This goes to show you PFF means nothing. If anybody ever wants to tell you about PFF, and sometimes I'll go to it only if I agree on, and I don't agree much with PFF. I really don't. Good and bad. You know, the good scores, the bad scores. But PFF graded Tay Hayes as one of the top defensive players in Detroit on Friday night. What happened? He gets dropped. So the Lions didn't like what they seen. So that just goes to show you PFF isn't the gospel, man. 1.6 million. What's that? Yeah, his cap hit's like $600,000 or something like that, and $1 million. His cap savings is 600K, and then his cap savings is no, the dead cap is $1 million. So we save a little bit of cash, get hitting the dead cap at the same time. So it's not that big of a deal. I was surprised by Coda and Drummer. The route running and speed was looking good. It's nice to have them for depth. They look really good out there, man. They look like two seasoned veterans out there. You know, like again, doing it against some, doing it against the young guys. They're young themselves. Doing it against the 2s, 3s, the 4s. But Coda looked really good out there, man. I'm really happy for Coda. I thought Drummond should have had that touchdown catch. It was a little underthrown by Nate. DB made a nice recovery back on it. I think he got a finger on it. So I don't know if they gave that drop to Drummond. If they did, I'd be questioning that drop. But it is only preseason. What's going on, Zach J? Anyone know the actual numbers on the Khalif Raymond extension? I got to look at that too. I know they signed him for $5 million a couple years back. What his new contract is? Khalif Raymond contract? Khalif Raymond contract. So he was set to make, he was making $1.3 million 2022. So now he's making 2.45 million with a signing bonus of $625K. He gets $50,000 for the workout, the roster. He makes $400K for making the roster. Miscellaneous $525. Those were bonuses. So it looks like it's an extra. He was at 2 years, $5 million. So, man, extra $3-4 million. Am I doing that math right? I'm horrific at math. I'm trying to break it down a little bit. I'm trying to add the bonuses in there too, but I think it brings down. Like if they were to cut him, which they're not going to, we save. Just say they were to cut him. They were to cut him post-release. Dead cap at 925, we save $3.125 million. So they're saving some cap there. They're definitely saving cap with the release or not with the release. So I'm okay with that, man. I just don't know the actual numbers, but he was making. He did sign a 2-year, $5 million deal, and now he's making. He's making a nice little paycheck now, man. Now he's getting $2.4 million on a base salary, 2.4 plus, man, base salary, and he's got some miscellaneous in there, so those are bonuses. So, man, he's making a little bit of money. It doesn't seem like it's not even a big hit at all. It's a beautiful contract for a guy that can probably fill in as a legit. I think now he's a legit number 3 wide receiver in the NFL. I really do, and I never would have said that about him 2-3 years ago. I think he can fit in for sure as a 4. He's definitely part of this offense and their plans going forward. We all know it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, Marvin Jones, and then Khalif Raymond. Now, when J-Mo comes in the mix, who takes that hit? It's probably going to be Marvin Jones. My guess is going to be the 33-year-old guy, who can still play. But he's getting some wear and tear on that body. He's getting a little bit older. So I definitely see when J-Mo comes back, no worse, Khalif Raymond's at number 4. No worse. He can even put better numbers up. It just all depends on J-Mo. J-Mo needs to be J-Mo. J-Mo needs to be better. So Khalif Raymond's a huge part of this offense, and I love it, man. I love it because I remember when he got signed here. When he got signed here 2-3 years ago, whatever it was, I was like, okay, just another body, man. This guy played for my Giants. He played for the Jets in the same year. Tennessee, Denver. He's been 4 or 5 teams, man. He did nothing. He had like 11 catches in that span. He did absolutely caca. Just didn't do a thing. Comes in Detroit. Man, this guy was stepping in as a number 1 because of injuries, number 2 because of injuries, making plays, going deep, become a special teamer, doing what he did his whole career pretty much before that, being a really good, solid special team guy, kick returner, punt returner. He was a second team All-Pro last year. I think he was second in the league in yards per return. So, man, Khalif's doing his job. He's doing things. I'm really, really proud, man, of Khalif Raymond. But Jake Lucinda is a center. Okay. Jake Lucinda is a center. Maybe the Persian throw blockers. Injury is noteworthy. But backup OT is still Ifedi and Nelson. And Bobby Hart, bro. Don't forget about Bobby Hart. Bobby Hart's in there. He's mainly a guard, but he's labeled a guard. He's labeled a guard, but he's played a lot of OT with like Buffalo, Cincinnati. The Giants had him. And I remember listening to Jeff Risden. He was calling in the Huge Show. You ever heard about the Huge Show? It's on 93.5. Oh, that's what station is for me. 93.5 comes on like, don't know what time he comes on. It's during the day. I always catch him when I'm coming home or going to work. 93.5 if I'm not watching the ticket or listening to the ticket. But Risden was on there, Jeff Risden, and he was saying that the Giants beat writers were LOLing when they found out that we signed Bobby Hart. And I got into an argument with the guy not too long ago, last week. Someone's like, Bobby Hart, man, great signing. I'm like, no, not really, man. I go, not at this stage in his career, older. You know, he's got some starts under his belt, but he's not that good anymore. This guy took it personal. I'm like, dude, don't take it personal that Bobby Hart's not that good of a player. But he's like, well, he has a pension. He has this. He got drafted. I go, that's all well and good, bro, but he's not that good anymore. Just because Brad Holmes picked him up doesn't mean he's going to be great. And I love what Brad Holmes is doing. He's trying to find depth. But Bobby Hart ain't the answer. He's probably not going to make this team. He's not that good. So their offensive tackle depth, guard depth, does worry me. But hopefully they figure that out. Hayes made a nice play too. I don't really remember, but I take your word for it, Gary. That's legit for Khalif. He definitely deserves that money for sure. I also appreciate you breaking that down for me, man. I tried to break it down as good as I could, Justin. I think I kind of fucked it up. Oops. I think I kind of effed that up a little bit, but because it's all, it says it right here. I just don't know the exact numbers for sure. Well, I do know the exact numbers. I just don't know if he's to be cut. He's not going to be cut. And they never really update it that good because they still say here he's going to be a free agent in 2024, which I don't think he is. He's not a free agent in 2024. You know what I mean? He's going to be a Detroit Lion in 2024. His free agency is in 2 years. So so I tried to do it from this perspective. Maybe someone will say it a little bit better here. This is from 2 days ago, and it's not really giving me anything here either. But pretty much in a nutshell, man, he got a little bit of a bump and raise, and I'm pretty sure it took down our cap hit and maybe bumped up some cap savings. That's all I'm happy about. Alexander made the team already. Book it. Alexander's in. I think he's a special team guy, man. He's too valuable in special teams. Get the ball in that kid's hands. Actually, get the ball in that kid's hands. Even on offense, get the ball in that kid's hands. He's a dynamo, man. He's a dynamo with the ball in his hands. He's one of those guys, man, that makes one or two misses and he could be gone. I love it. When do the first cuts need to be made? I think they'll be coming up soon. There should be some cuts coming up soon. I know they're cutting guys right now. They released Stenberg, but they will be trying to get it down to right now they're at 90. I think it's a 90-man roster. I think they got to get it down to, I don't even know what they got to get it down to next. I completely forget, but guys are getting cut soon. Pretty sure it changed to just one final cut, no longer in phases. Did not know that, David Webster, and thank you if that's true. Appreciate it. Kirby Joseph proved that he can cover sidelines last year, but which safety do you see at free and who do you see at robber and cover one packages? Love the show. Well, it's going to be interesting, Matt. And that's a fantastic question. I love this question because I think they're so versatile. I think you're going to be seeing Kirby at free. You're going to be seeing and then this is where it gets interesting. It gets interesting with CJ Gardner Johnson and guys like Brian Branch. See, because I want to say Tracy Walker. Love Tracy Walker. I think he's a great player, but I think he's limited, and that's fine. He's just really they call him a free safety. I think he's a strong safety. He's a good tackler. He's not a ball hawk. He's not going to get you a bunch of picks. You know what I mean? He's not going to knock it down a lot of balls at PBUs. He's not going to get that for you. But he's a good player. I like Tracy Walker, but I think adding guys like CJ Gardner Johnson and adding guys like Brian Branch, who are kind of clones of each other. I think CJ might be a little bit more of a playmaker. I think Branch is more cerebral. He's more of a cerebral guy, man. He's like, I don't want to say he's smarter, but he just seems like he's more of a coach on the field. I think he just deciphers plays a little quicker. As a rookie, I think we're going to see that. So you're going to see a lot of CJ Gardner Johnson and Kirby. Kirby's not going to come off the field much, man. Let's just say that. And then it's going to switch. And then you're going to see guys like CJ Gardner Johnson going up to nickel cornerback and Branch possibly going back up there. Or Tracy Walker coming in. Keeping Branch, keeping CJ in on the nickels. And then you're going to see Tracy Walker coming in. So it's going to be different packages, man. Like the robber, the cover ones, the cover twos, what they're going to do, the high safeties. It's going to be, I think it's hard to really say because I think they have three versatile guys in Branch and CJ. And then you got a versatile guy and a guy like Kirby who can kind of bounce around everywhere. He won't play nickel or anything like that. But Kirby's a free guy. He's a free safety. Tracy Walker can play that strong, a little bit of the free safety. And then you're going to see guys like, I don't want to say it, Will Harris could possibly come in playing like that star linebacker role too, just like Branch playing that star linebacker role. So I think it's really hard to say what kind of packages they're going to do because I don't really know the defensive Lions playbook. I wish I had it in front of me, but I think they're so versatile, dude. I just think it's going to be crazy. The depth is nuts. The depth is crazy. So I can't tell you who's going to play in the robber, the cover one, the cover two. I just think when there's certain situations, this is why they practice football situations, man, and football schemes and all that stuff. They have plays and players set for 3rd and 12, 3rd and 6, 2nd and 9. You know what I'm getting at, man. If you're a football guy, which I think you are, you get it. You know what I mean? Like you have certain packages who you're going to put in on certain football situations. And I'm excited for it, man, because it's going to be like a chameleon. We're not going to see the same things over and over again. We're like, man, they're changing their colors. Look at this. Look at this, man. We're seeing different guys out here playing. It's going to be all along the D-line, the linebackers that goes back into the safety room and then the nickel corner room. And it's just, I'm excited, man. It brings me tears, man. Hopefully the D looks like this in the regular season. What's going on, Lions Roar 74? I think they look good out there, man. They look good. There was the reserves versus the reserves. But, hey, that's good enough. Pearson Throw Blockers was playing center. Pearson Throw Blockers, I love it. Was playing center. Yeah, he's a center. He's definitely a center. They're looking for a center. They're trying to protect that position. If they brought in that kid that, I don't know, somebody said this Lucinda guy's a center, never heard of him. Obviously, he's either a little bit banged up or they don't really know the total details of his injury, right? So we'll see. What are your feelings on joint practice? I like it. I think it brings competition. If you ever played the game, if you ever played the game, it gets kind of mundane, boring, going up against the same guys. And it's no different in the pros. It's no different in the pros. These guys, man, they're hitting each other for weeks, for months. Then they finally get to go up against some other guys. They get to see their buddies, man, joint practices. And then I think it's good for a coaching perspective as well, too, because you get to see guys on the other team. You get to see up and close guys that, hey, man, this guy looks better than my guy over here, my third string guy, and vice versa, back and forth, man. So I think it's a great idea. I've always liked it. I've never had a problem with it, even though when guys get hurt, it's football. Guys are going to get hurt. So I love joint practices because you get to see not only your favorite players, most of the time they're on the sidelines, but you get from a coaching and a fan and a fan perspective, you get to see these guys in a different light. you get to see him in a different light, man. You get to see like, hey, man, this guy's better than my backup. This guy's better than my third string guy, and so on and so forth. That's how I go about it. I think the teams love it too. That's how we found Romeo. That's how we found Romeo Wakwara. So, you know what I mean? He, like, when we went up against the Giants years ago, he showed out. I believe the Giants dropped him, and we picked him up off waivers. So it was like after those joint practices. So it's a good thing. Our depth at D-line did look good. It looked great. Like, Kaminsky's going to be depth, which is fantastic. And that guy looks like that guy can start on a lot of teams. He could probably start on our team. He's a dog. He's a bulldog, man. He's a hard worker. He wants to show up this year because he's just so grateful. He's a Detroit Lion. I think he's so humble. That guy's a great player. We got guys like James Houston. You know what I mean? Romeo, Julian, if those guys can make the squad, those are good depth, man. That's great depth, and I love it. Cuts are August 29th, just one cut. Did not know that. Thank you, Moto City. I appreciate it, man. Learn something new every day. I appreciate it. 53 after preseason game 3. Let's get it down to 53. After this preseason game, they cut to a bunch of people, 53. Then that's it. That's all she wrote. I think it's August 20th final cut down. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you guys are awesome. I agree 100%. Lots of depth. That's the best thing about it, Matt. Man, depth. Depth is gonna salvage this team, man. It's gonna save the energy of our big time players. You can throw in a Kaminsky for 1 or 2 plays over Aiden Hutchinson. You really can, man. Yes, he's always, like, you know what I mean? He's not Aiden Hutchinson, but you can do stuff like that, man. You can be able to get a pass rush going if you bring in a Romeo or a Julian. It's not just going to be Aiden and James Houston coming in. You got Charles Harris, you got Pascal, you got guys that can get into the backfield. And that's awesome. The interior it worries me a little bit because I want to see guys like Levi do good. I want to see Covington shine. I want to see what Bugs can do. You still got Broderick Martin. You know, I'm a little bit worried there, but the depth is insane, man, all along the board. I think everywhere. I think we have depth everywhere, and I'm very, very happy. When Mosey comes back, the depth's even better. So at corner, linebackers starting to get depth, D-line depth. The only real big depth for me and my problem, like me and my concern, is O-line depth. I'm still a little bit nervous, even though the reserves played pretty well. In wide receiver depth a bit because of J-Mo being out. You know, Denzel Mims getting hurt. I don't know what's going on with him. He needs to play. He needs to play, or he's going to just get cut. He's just going to cut because we just get our 7th round pick back, or 6th round pick, whatever the hell it was. And, you know, Jets get their pick back too, and Mims is a free agent. So Mims needs to play, and I think I'd feel a little bit better with that, depth at wide receiver. But everywhere but O-line scares me a bit. I bought my 4-year-old nephew to Lions training camp, and then they beat the Giants. Boom, Patty Grimes. Love it. August 1, just want they can make cuts prior first year, the new rules in effect. I did not know. Thank you, David Webster. Appreciate it, brother. I feel like you should be able to carry the above 53 players if you can make it to work with the cap. They also need to separate quarterback cap. The way it's getting ridiculous. The mind blown, buddy. Mind blown, Justin Chase. It's getting nuts out there, man, with this quarterback money. The center got released with an injury settlement already today. Okay, Pierce Blocker got released today with an injury settlement. That sucks. Didn't know that, so that's why they brought in the other guy. I know nothing about the guy they brought in. Lucinda or Lucina? Don't know. Anybody got any info on it? Did he even play in the league? That sucks, man, because Ragnow, he doesn't stay healthy himself. Interesting. So, Mark, it sounds like in the past years there used to be several cut deadlines, but this year they changed it to only one cut deadline. Yeah, I guess they did, Zach. I didn't know that either, bro. It is interesting. Just one big cut. Boom. You got your 53. Let's rock and roll. A little bit different. I kind of wonder why they did it like that, but maybe they just do a huge release, right? They obviously do a huge release. 32 teams release 80, 70, 60, 50, 40 something, got 47 players, right? 47 players. That what it is. I know my math's terrible. And then there's 47 times 32. 47 times 32, and that's a lot of free agents out there, man. So there's going to be a massive amount of signings, it sounds like, from, it won't be like gigantic, huge contract-breaking contracts, but guys are going to get signed. Interesting. I'm loving it. Tom McLean coming in late to the forum. What's going on, brother? Good to see you here. Our D was solid. Imagine the first team mainliners in there. This D is violent as DC, Brad, AG, and Shep requires. And I love Shep, man. Listen, when I listen to Shep talk, that's Calvin Shepard, our linebacker coach. I played the position, man. I played linebacker. That's the type of coach you want to play for, man. He loves his players. He loves the Detroit Lions. He loves the coaching staff. He's just a fired up dude, and he's passionate, man. He's passionate about this football team. He's passionate about his guys, man. I love him. He's the real deal. Calvin Shepard's going to be a long-time coach in the NFL, guys. Long time. I thought I seen you at training camp, or was it your twin? I wasn't there, bro. I was supposed to go last time I was on days. I'm going back on days this week, tomorrow. And I was supposed to go last week. I was still on noons on a Wednesday. But my stepdaughter came home from Banff, and she came home on that Tuesday night. So I couldn't go Wednesday. And I was going to go, but I could not go, man. Couldn't make it out there this year again. Maybe we'll see against maybe next year. I don't know, man. It's just tough, man. It's tough for me to get out, guys. I got so much going on afterwards. That's why the videos are always behind. I still haven't even done a preseason video, and I want to talk about the preseason game. So I kind of did this too, but hopefully this covers a little bit. But I'd like to do a video about it as well too. He was a top center in D2, an all-pro center at USFL. I did not know that. That's awesome. Wonder why guys like that don't get a shot. He's getting one now. I'm kind of wondering where he was. Well, he was obviously in the USFL, but I wonder why he didn't get a shot before. Injuries, maybe? 2 years in the USFL, I believe. 37. 37. Oh, see? That's how terrible my math is, guys. This is why I never excelled in math. That says 47. Yikes. Thank you, boys. Thank you. I was still kind of hoping we'd pick up a dude like Kareem Hunt or something at running back instead of a Zigba. Feel like this, how low the contracts are and how good Gibbs is with his hands. Well, they got Montgomery, though. If we didn't have a Montgomery, I could feel you on this. Don't know what Kareem Hunt's looking for. I know he's coming off an injury, I believe, isn't he? He's visited a couple teams. The Jets, I think, being one of them. Maybe the Patriots, Miami. Kind of all the teams that are looking at running backs right now. Delvin Cook's still out there. So it's going to be interesting to see where Kareem Hunt goes. Ozigba probably not going to make this team, bro. It's going to be Benny. I think Benny Snell, you heard it here first. I think he has the best shot now. I think from a talent perspective of being RB3. I really do. I think Craig Reynolds could be in a little bit of trouble, but he knows the system. He's been here for a couple of years. He knows the system better than Snell. Can Snell catch on? I don't know. I think guys like Jamar Jefferson, who I think he's hurt. My buddy was telling me he was on IR, but I never seen anything like that coming out of camp or coming along the wire about Jamar. And then Mahib Ibrahim, I want to see him a little bit more. I think he might have a little bit of trouble making this team as well. I don't know what's going on there. So it's going to get interesting, but I think Benny Snell, I think he's going to win that RB3. I just have a feeling. I could be wrong, though. Even with an injury, we could be deadly. I think we can get away with a couple injuries too as well. I just at O-line, it will scare me. If Sewell or Decker go down, I think we're in a lot more trouble than if a Jonah Jackson or a Big V goes down, because Glasgow can come in, or Big V if Glasgow wins, vice versa, whatever happens there. But the O-tackle depth on this team is terrible. Matt Nelson is not good. Bobby Hart is not good. Iwosika is a developing guy that I think just quite not ready yet. Maybe he could be good. We just lost our backup center to Ragnar Piersbacher, who's a decent backup center. We just lost him. So we brought in this Lucina guy. Maybe he's good. He was an all-world dude in the USFL. I'm being told one of a great Division II center. Maybe he can come in and be that guy. So I am a little worried about O-line depth. Max Wiz News Satire. Love it. Martin already getting double teamed. And that's what we want, Max. That's what we're looking for over here at Orum'S Den. That's what we're looking for over here. The big fella getting double teamed, eating up blockers, creating space for his linebackers, his other D linemen to make room, make plays. That's what we need, man. Benny Snell, he looked okay. He got some looks, got like 6-7 carries. He got looks. Guy just walked into the building, got looks. Love it. Injuries are bound to happen to run back, though. Remember last year without Swift and Monty going down? I don't know about these guys. They like 3-4 yard per carry guys. I know, man. I think last year, getting a guy like Jamal, I think was crazy. Him coming in and getting 1,000, getting 17, 18 touchdowns, whatever he got was I think crazy. And like you said, without Swift, we didn't see the dynamic. It was very run up the middle, get those bone crushing yards. And Jamal did a great job, but we didn't see the dynamic that this offense could be on the ground. And I think they're trying to bring that down. I think they're trying to bring that back a little more, obviously with the Gibbs and the Monty signing, and then bringing in a possible Benny Snell. Justin Jackson, I think retiring, it hurts them. If you want to be honest about it, it's not good for the Lions. Now, is it lost all hope? Justin Jackson retired. This team's not going to win 10, 11 games. No, but the running game just took a hit, man. We took a hit losing a guy like that, because not only is he a good running back, running the football, he catches the ball, and he's a phenomenal special teams player. Does everything you want in a special teams guy. Takes back kicks, blocks, plays on the coverage, the kickoff. He does it all. And losing him is going to hurt. Now, Benny Snell does all that stuff. He plays a lot of special teams. Did it in Pittsburgh. I was talking to a close buddy of mine. He was telling me he's a Pittsburgh fan. He's like, you're going to like the Benny Snell signing, because he's not going to be the one or two guy. He did take over for whatever his name was in Pittsburgh that got hurt a couple times. Didn't do a whole bunch, but he's capable of carrying the load for a little bit. He is a load. He's like 225 pounds, big kid, heavy, doesn't catch the ball a ton, can do it though, but he was mainly their RB2 in Pittsburgh, RB2, RB3, played a ton of special teams. He said, you're going to like him over there, man. He goes, you have kind of a crowded running back room right now. Justin Jackson retiring though, I think he's going to win that spot, man. I'm just saying. Yeah, we can't lose Goff, man. We can't lose Goff. And all 32 teams can say the same. You can't lose your starter, man. You really can't. Like, if Bryce Young goes down, okay, Andy Dalton's there. He's decent, right? He's decent. He can kind of carry a team for a little bit. If Goff goes down, we got Teddy Bridgewater. I feel a little bit safer with Teddy Bridgewater than I do with Nate Sudfeld. I feel a little bit better than that. You know what I mean? If that happens. So you can't say that a lot, man, with teams. So, yeah, man, we don't want to lose Goff. Get rid of Kabinda. I've been saying that for years, bro. They love him, though. They love him, dude. They love him, man. He's versatile. Plays special teams. Can't catch he can't catch a cold, but he plays special teams. He can play linebacker in a pinch. They love him, man. He's a Dan Campbell guy. He's one of those throwback guys. I don't know what the hell they see in him, though. From a football perspective, they just love his work ethic, I guess. The C came in for a workout. Did he actually sign a contract? The C. Who's the C? I'm not sure who's the C, bro. Benny drops 1 for 6. First pick, backdoor contract, blind to it. Happily we got Teddy. I hope we never need him. Yeah, that the whole point of bringing a guy like Teddy, bringing any backup quarterback in is you hope you don't need him. You just hope to God you don't need a backup quarterback, because you're in trouble. 3rd and 4th down stops at the middle with Martin and Campbell. That's the thing, man. If Broderick Martin can do that consistently, he's going to start on this team. I think it's McNeil 100%. Could it be Martin? Could it be Bugs? Could it be Covington? Could it be, who's going to win that spot, man? Who's going to win that other inside guy? Hopefully it could be Martin. He's got to show some more. But stuff in the run like that is beauty. We might be able to pick running backs after cuts. Yeah, you never know, man. There's going to be tons of guys available. There's going to be a shit ton of guys. I do not see where this new C is actually signed anything. I don't know who he is, bro. I don't know who he is. Maybe they just signed him. He was just in for a workout. The spot opening from the C getting released. Pierschbacher, the injury settlement was filled by cornerback Colby Richardson. Yeah, another corner. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know nothing about this Lucina guy. Have you seen Sudfeld? Oh, man. I think he's bagging groceries at the local 5 and Dime, man. Anthony Richardson can go down and Minshew would be fine. Yeah, Minshew's okay. He can carry a team a little bit. I don't mind Minshew, but he's not going to be a guy that you can put on your back, man, on his back. You know what I mean? He's not going to be that type of guy. I just got real hot all of a sudden. Whew. He's not going to be a guy that's going to be, jump on his back and ride. Minshew would get the job done, though, man. I like Gardner. Sudfeld gave me flashbacks of Tim Boyle and Blau. Those were flashbacks, bro, and not good ones. All of San Francisco quarterbacks look bad. Yeah, preseason, brother. Preseason, the center, Lucina. Yeah, like that. I don't know, bro. This is the first time I've ever hearing of this guy's name in my life. I don't know who he is. USFL guy, played in D2. I don't know, bro. Like you said earlier, Dave. They signed Colby Richardson, another guy that's kind of bouncing around. I think he played for the Panthers, maybe. I don't know nothing about him. I don't know his stats. In college, I'd have to look it up. I'd have to look up his game tape. I'd have to be able to find it first. I got a pretty good program that could probably have me find it. Either his college days or maybe if he played a couple of days in the pros, a couple of games at least, maybe there's some type of file on him. It'd be nice. So, yeah. Fox better than Suckfeld. That's it, man. I think he's got better completion percentage. That's for sure. Hey, the thing. That's the thing right there. Penultimate? Is that right? I like the avatar, though. Is that the thing? It looks like the thing, man. One of my favorites, bro. I wish I could have seen Jack Campbell's rookie show. It was good, bro. He looked the part. And he looked bigger than I thought he would be muscle-wise. He's muscle up, man. He looked big. I got his jersey right here, man. Got his jersey. It just came in Friday. Woo. Just came in Friday. I'm fired up. Let's go. Thoughts on Russell Wilson? Well, I don't know too much of what's going on this year. I don't know what he did in the preseason game, if he even played. My thoughts on him, though, I think he's one of the best quarterbacks I've seen play the game. I think he's one of the most talented quarterbacks I've ever seen. Don't get me wrong. The guy's third, fourth string guy. I mean a third, fourth round guy that drafted by Seattle, came in, boom, won the job. Did the damn thing. I think he turned into a complete weirdo. I had this conversation with my buddy not too long ago about Russell Wilson. I think he is a phony, for one. His interviews are bizarre. I think he changes his personalities to fit whatever he's at. He's a strange dude. He's a very strange dude, but he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, and I just think he seems like a complete phony to me. He doesn't seem real. He almost seems like AI, like artificial intelligence. He adapts to everything that he's doing. Like he changes his tone of his voice. He changes his attitude when he's around different people. He just seems like a phony, man. But he's a good player. And what he does in Denver this year, I think they're going to struggle again. I think that Sean Payton thing in him, Sean Payton coming in saying he can't wear bucket hats, jewelry, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't have your hat backwards, all this shit. I think it's ridiculous. You got Russell Wilson there thinking he's God. You got Peyton with the God complex. I think it's going to come crashing in. Peyton's a good coach, though. Let's not forget who he had at quarterback for years. Drew Brees and that defense and just everybody on that offense. He had a great team. in New Orleans. So I just don't know, man. I don't know. I think that thing's going to come smashing into an iceberg. I just do. I think Russell Wilson is a weird dude. It's just my opinion. That's the thing. I knew it. Thursday, me and my buddies went to the Tiger game and brought home a win. I love it. Bring those wins home, Patty Grimes. 46, bro. Just came in the mail. Took like 2-3 weeks to get here, though. Campbell's comments on Sudfeld getting more reps in the future than Martinez was a bit confusing. I never heard that. They probably just want to get a look. They want to get a look at him, man. When you want to give a rookie with potential more reps than a 7-year vet who has peaked, I think it's more of a respect thing. You know what I mean? I think Martinez could go on the practice squad. You know, will he get picked up? Who knows? Will they protect him? I don't know, man. They must like Sudfeld. They see something in him. He was bad on Friday, but I still say his stat line should have been better. You know, players are going to drop balls. There was 2 or 3 for sure drops by that team. One should have been a touchdown, probably. So his stat line should have been better, but still was bad overall. I want to take a look at him. Let's not get too crazy about Martinez. Let's not get into this. Adrian Martinez is this great quarterback, man, because he's not, guys. He's really not. So if this is a QB3 battle, it's a QB3 battle, man. Let it play out, guys. I'm not going to worry who wins it. I really don't care. I don't, but I do understand what you're saying. Give the reps to Martinez. Maybe he's going to earn them. Maybe he's gonna. But Campbell says a lot of things. Sometimes they don't come true. You know, he likes to run at the mouth, man, a little bit. He's very transparent. I'm not saying he lies or anything like that, but you might see Martinez get more reps. Who knows? You know what I mean? You might have Mark Brunell, the quarterback coach, come in and go, "What the hell are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing talking about Adrian Martinez? Like, he's not going to get no reps." And Sudfeld, I think Martinez. And then Campbell being Campbell, he respects his coaches, and maybe they're having that conversation. But as of right now, it's a QB3 battle. I'm not too worried about it. Brought home a win. Quarterback Richardson was undrafted free agent this year, released from Carolina. Played college ball at LSU. I did see that. So he's got to have some goods. Wilson changed personality to sell subs. He's just weird. He's just a weird dude. Subway? Probably. Zach, I agree. Unless he's really good at film study or helping to prep for a game plan and stuff. I heard Teddy B is superior at that too. Teddy B, man, is great at that. I just read a whole thing on him and how he likes to bring in his receivers. He likes to get together, man. He likes to like hang out with all his guys. Brings them in before game day. He asks them all kinds of questions. He prepares his guys. I love that about Teddy B, and I think Jared Goff's going to learn a little bit about that too. I'm sure Jared Goff does it as well, but maybe Teddy B does it a little bit different way. I think he will help Goff more than that. Yeah, well, Bridgewater's going to help out Goff tremendously. If Lions start winning, I want a Dan Campbell retro. I almost bought one, bro. When I bought this Jack Campbell jersey, the Dan Campbell jersey was right there, man. It was the black, blue, and gray one. Like, you know, remember the ugly blacks? They just kind of looked, ugh. That era was terrible. Joey Harrington era, the Mike McMahons and all that, whatever the hell it was. No, it wasn't Mike McMahon. Was it Mike McMahon with the blacks? But anyways, it was the black. I almost bought the Dan Campbell. It's probably the 0-16 jersey. It was probably the 0-16, and I almost bought it when I got this one. I was like, I can't do it just yet, man. Zach J, great analogy in the quarterback depth. Totally agree with that. You just, we just need to see Goff and Teddy right now. I'm not too worried about this quarterback 3 battle going on. I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't care about the Nate Sudfeld and Adrian Martinez battle. I really don't, man. Whoever wins it, wins it. Martinez, to me, looked a little bit more poised. He looked better, but he was also doing it versus the number 4s. 3s and 4s. Sudfeld was at least going against the 2s for most of the time. And 3s a little bit later on as the game went on. And finally Martinez came in. But I'm not that concerned about a QB3 battle. I'm just not, guys. Well, then we got a problem. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. But if it does, then we can have this conversation. And like you said, if they bring in that quarterback, that emergency quarterback rule, and that does happen, that's why it's probably going to be a battle. It's a QB3 battle, man. Whoever wins it, good luck. I'm going to shake your hand and say, we don't ever want to see you out there on the field, bro. Please, to God, I don't want to see Adrian Martinez or Nate Sudfeld out there. I don't even want to see Teddy Bridgewater. I don't even want to see Teddy. I don't want to see Teddy. Nobody does, man. We don't want to see Teddy. Please, football gods. No Teddy Bridgewater. No Adrian Martinez. And hell no. No Nate Sudfeld out there. We don't want to see him. We don't want to see those guys out there. Jared Goff's not going down, boys. The Lions proposed a new rule. Bet they use it. Hey, I didn't know the Lions proposed that new rule. Should have been San Fran. But that's a good rule. Drafting Hendon Hooker might have something to do with that too. But I don't think he's not playing it down. So, but let's face it, Martinez or Sudfeld is starting. We are screwed anyways. Absolutely, bro. We're screwed to the max. Hey, Mark, how are you? I'm good, Perry Ball. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you out here, buddy. Nate needs to be cut. Oh, there's a QB3 battle going on now. It's official. It's official. Adrian Martinez versus Nate Sudfeld. Who you got? I agree with you. I don't want to see Goff out there this year, but BH plans. Oh, you know what I mean? BH does plan. Mr. Holmes will plan, and he'll plan accordingly. Dan Campbell's right there, guys. Has there ever been a coach that won a Super Bowl and played for the same team? I don't know. That's a tough question. Ooh, tired. That's a fantastic question, Patty Grimes. I don't know that answer to that, man. Well, we've been doing this for about 1 hour and 11 minutes. We're going on $1:12. I'm going to be cutting it short soon. Maybe try and get maybe a few more minutes. If the questions pick up, maybe I'll go to 9:30. But I just got a wave of tiredness all of a sudden. And I'm on days. So I want to hang out with the little one. But I'm good to answer more questions. Steve Shattuck, what's going on, brother? How you doing, my friend? Do you think Teddy plays his upcoming preseason games? Yeah, I think he's going to play this week. He's healthy, right? There's no injury on him right now, I believe. I know he was hurt. Last year. If he's practicing, I could see him playing. I think we're going to see Goff more, though. From according to some of the guys on here, though, man, I can see Goff playing more, and then a little more Sudfeld. I don't know, man. Apparently, Campbell wants to see Sudfeld more. I think that's a little bit bizarre. I do agree with that, but it is a QB3 battle. I would like to see Teddy B in there, but he's got to learn maybe we see him most of the third game, Teddy B. So maybe not, man. I'm going to call Teddy Bridgewater in the third game. I'm going to say the third game. You're going to see Bridgewater and whoever wins the QB3 battle. You might see you might see Teddy for the first half. You might see the next guy. It's either going to be, then you might see a combination of Adrian and Nate. Who knows? But this week I'm going to call no. I'm probably going to be wrong, though. Great point, Mark. But if it all happens, I want to see Hooker. We all want to see. Hooker is the guy. I think Hooker is the guy, my friend. We all want to see Hooker, but he ain't playing a snap. So let's not. We got to get that out of our heads. Hopefully, Dan Campbell the first. Hell yeah, buddy. Woo! How does House 710 in the building? What's going on, my friend? The rookie played well last game. Who impressed you? Lots of guys impressed me, man. Jack Campbell impressed me. Brian Branch had a big lick. Gibbs was running hard. He didn't amass a lot of yards, but he had a nice first down run. Bounced it outside. Caught a ball for 18 yards, I believe. Had a first down. They were trying to run him inside mostly. It seemed like. So I was cool with everybody, man. I think everybody had good. Jack Campbell looked great. Broderick Martin had a couple stops, man. He was eating up double teams. Chase Cota impressed me, the wide receiver out of Oregon, the undrafted kid. Dylan Drummond had a couple catches. And Laporta needs to catch those balls. Laporte needs to catch that. So will we see Hooker soon? No, we're not going to see him 9 drinks. We're not going to see him play a snap this year, in my opinion. You're not seeing him in preseason. You're not going to see him in preseason. I don't think that he's even going to dress. He's going to be a guy that just stays on either the pup, and then they're going to have to make a decision on if they want to bring him back a little bit later on during the year. But I think he's completely redshirted, like Dan Campbell said. He's not going to see a snap, bro. Martinez on practice squad it makes sense to run scout team definitely for mobile quarterbacks. Sudfeld, third emergency quarterback option. Hooker on pup list. Couldn't have said it better myself, David. That's a fantastic take. I agree with it totally. Gene Gutierrez, what's going on, my friend? How you doing? I want you to see that a quarterback's just not because of injury. When game is in hand, don't risk starters health. Exactly. We don't, it's just saying this second preseason game though, bro, you're going to see a little bit more of Goff. In my opinion, I think we're going to see Goff. Maybe I'm wrong though, but that's just normally kind of the norm is what you see. You see more starters in the second game now that it's changed to 3 preseason games instead of 4. So you're going to see, you might see Aiden, you might see those guys. I don't think they're going to get a ton of reps. Maybe the quarterback will. It's kind of my guess is that the quarterback's going to get a ton of reps, like the starter quarterback, and then you're going to see the guys like we want to see. We want to see the Adrian Martinez's. We want to see the Nate Sudfelds. I still want to see Nate play. I do want to see, even though I don't think he's going to be on this team, I want to see if he bounces back. How does he handle adversity? He had a bad game, which he did. Left some yards on the field though, and a touchdown from his guys. Not his fault on those. Some drops. So I want to see Nate play. I don't think we see. We're not going to see him, bro. Joe linebacker played well last game. J.O. Julian Okwara, he was awesome, bro. He was awesome. I've kind of convinced myself though that Julian Okwara is a one-trick pony. He is a pass rusher, and I think that's all he is. And he's gonna make a career out of it in the NFL. He might not be a Detroit Lion. He might not, because let's face it, guys. He was doing that against backups to the backups to the backups. Like, he had a great game. I will never take that away. But let's see him do that against 1s and 2s. If you can do it against 1s and 2s, it's way more impressive than doing it against 3s and 4s. Yes, he did it, and that's fantastic for him. I think he keeps himself a job in the NFL because of that ability to get to the backfield. But he's not a guy. He's just really not, man. But hey, if he makes his team, He's a situational pass rusher. That's what he is. Who wants to wait a year for Hooker? Well, nobody wants to wait a year for a Hooker. But if you have to, that's just the way it is, bro. Who do you see outside of Thomas of the UDFAs making it? I've heard a lot of good things about Stephen Gilmore, the UDFA out of the cornerback. Stephon Gilmore's little brother. I'm hearing him. Dylan Drummond, I would really like to see. I want to see a little bit more of this Chase Cota kid. I want to see what he can do now and a little bit more higher reps versus better defensive players. Let's see what he can do. So there's a few guys out there, man. Thank you, Jorge. Hit the like button for Mark. Woo! Love it, Jorge. Thank you, sir. Do you think Jerry J plays more this game? I think we're going to see more starters in game 2. I really do. I don't think it's going to be a lot. You might see 2-3 series with Goff. But other than that, is Hutch going to play? Maybe a series. Are we going to see? We're going to see Anzalone playing. Are we going to see these type of guys like Jerry Jacobs? Remains to be seen for me. It remains to be seen for me. But game 2 seems to be where starters play a little bit more. No Goff in 3 preseason game at Carolina after how they take care of the field. I think they changed it up in Carolina though, didn't they? Didn't they change it up? Thought they did. We won't see him in game 3 anyways. We won't see him in game 3. Gets game 3, the last game, we won't see one starter in there. You won't even see Gibbs. You won't even see Jack Campbell, in my opinion. Drummond needs to make the team, yeah. I bet that was because the game was late in the season. It does get cold in South Carolina. Should be warm in fine field conditions. That's true, too. If they can let J-Mo sit and heal for a year, we can do the same for Hooker. Exactly. J-Mo never should have came back last year. I was excited he did, but looking at it now, maybe he shouldn't even came back at all. What standouts do you see this week out of the rookies? What standouts? I think Jack's going to have a bigger game. He's going to get more looks. I think Gibbs has a long touchdown run. I have a feeling they're going to get him out in the flats, and he's going to have a long run. That catch he had last week or a couple nights ago, he was stumbling and bumbling. I bet you if he was not stumbling around and the throw wasn't so bad, because he had I believe he had to kind of reach back for that catch, and he was spinning around. He was fumbling. He still had 18 yards on the play. I think he's gonna take a wheel route out like to the house. So I'm expecting Gibbs, Jack Campbell, maybe Brian Branch. The usual guys, man. Just thinking, imagine if Goff gets injured because of the field, it would be it'd be terrible, man. But like my man said, I think it was David Webster said that the field should be better now. It was cold up there. I'd wait 3 years for Hooker. Hey, you might have to. You might have to. I think we're gonna wait at least a couple, for Hendon Hooker. You think the kid that got the lung pump return for a touchdown make the team? Yeah, I think he does. He made the team last year. I don't see why he doesn't. Maybe he becomes that. Maybe they carry 6 wide receivers. Maybe they carry 6. I think he's a guy that needs to get the ball in his hands more. He's dynamic, man. He's fast. Get the ball in his hands, see what happens. You know what I mean? So I think he's gonna make the team, Maurice. But I'm going to go, guys. I'm going to go. This has been a good one. About an hour and 22 minutes going on. I appreciate everybody coming into the chat. I appreciate it, man. It's fun to talk Detroit Lions football on a Sunday night. But it's 9:20. I got to go hug my family. And I'm on days. I'm going to be going to bed soon within the hour. I think I'm going to have a long day at work tomorrow. So, yeah. Preseason week 1, I was in Baltimore and Jets from AFC. The Saints Lions that go to the Super Bowl. Ho, ho, ho. Whoa. Saints Lions. Wow. They're gonna meet up in the NFC Championship game. It depends what hooker you wait for. Exactly. Do you think they release Nate this week? I do. No. I don't think they do yet. Keep an eye out for if they sign a quarterback, man. Keep an eye out. But not yet. Not yet. Someone just said, Jack, that Dan Campbell wants to see more Nate this week. He wants to see him do more snaps this week. So they probably they probably kind of like what they saw, but they also don't like what they saw at the same time. Because in reality, he should have had a better stat line. He really should have. He was still bad, but his stat line was bad because there was a couple big drops, man. J-Mo being one. Laporta had the one. The Dylan Drummond drop was a little bit iffy, and I think there was another one in there somewhere. There was 3 or 4 drops. So, he should have thrown for over at least 200-something yards. Should have had a touchdown, maybe 2. The picks were still there too, though. So, I don't want Studfeld on this team, but he wasn't as bad as everyone says he was. He was bad, don't get me wrong, but not as bad. If that makes sense. But me, sometimes that don't make sense. But thanks a lot, guys. Peace out, brother. Peace out to you too, Jorge. Patty Grimes with the thumbs up. I appreciate it, guys. 48 in the building. Guys, get this out. I really appreciate it, man. Like, comment, share this out. Orum'S Den out. Let's go. Go Lions. Boom, bam. Let's go, baby. We getting this done on a Sunday night.